Okay, I'm really excited today, and I know I always freaking say that, but I just love these anyways. I vibe off of them really well. But anyways, what we're talking about today is something that I actually read in the book Think Like a Monk yesterday. And it was funny because when I read the devotional this morning, I was like, it's so crazy how God works. Like he tells you, he puts something in your face, and then he puts it in time and time and time again until you realize it, until you like are like, okay, I'm gonna go do this today. I'm gonna actually like take action and do this. And so it was talking about being present, and Think Like a Monk is honestly like that full book is about that, but it's about a lot of other things, but that's something that it really talks about. And so this one today, in the book yesterday, it was talking about half of the human population, you are on auto drive. And so they did like a research thing, and they asked people who went to work on the same exact drive every single day. They asked them, they're like, hey, where is this specific placement of this thing at? And half of them didn't know. And then half of them who like are really intentional with their time, really intentional with their day, really present of the day, they were able to say, okay, this is where it's at. And those people who weren't able to answer had been driving to the same place for like 25 years, okay, and they had never noticed what was on the side of the road. And so what it challenged you yesterday to do in the book, it was saying that like next time you're somewhere, if you drive the same route every single day, I go to the same park every single day. And so if you're driving the same route, or maybe you're sitting in your room, or you're sitting in like you're going outside your house and you're just going to sit down on the porch, sit there and take time to soak in the details of everything. And that not only allows you to be present, but it allows you to just really be functional and be grateful for just the tiny little details of things. And it allows you to be more aware. And so that's what it was talking about. And that's actually what this devotional talks about. So it's weird. It's crazy how those things happen, but I love it. It's never a coincidence. It's always God to me. But this one says for beauty, and it's actually in the devotional choosing gratitude. And then it says never lose an opportunity of seeing anything beautiful, for beauty is God's handwriting. And then it says Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it says life is full of beauty. Notice it. Notice the bumblebee, the small child, the smiling faces, smell the rain and the feel the wind. Live your life in the fullest potential and fight your dreams. Then it says that's by Ashley Smith, and it says Smith gives us a command: notice beauty. It's as if we need to make a date with beauty to just rediscover her, where we clear some time, put down something that glows, and get some fresh air. Stop, breathe, notice. Nature has a way of silencing me with her beauty, of giving me perspective with her leaves brighter than my dim heart and her trees bigger than all of my fears. I get a fresh look at my small problems. Trees and rivers and hills and lakes and sunsets and skies in any color if you want. If I take the time, can we take the time today? Could we get alone and take a walk just 10 minutes and notice beauty on purpose? Let's do it. Clear skies can clear hearts. And then there's something that God, oh wait, hold on. And then there's God's handwriting, as Emerson calls beauty, the kind that's in the creases of our everyday pages. This is the kind when we are very much on our way. When we aren't stopping, we're going about our day. We hear the silly giggles of an older child chasing the littlest as we unload the dishwasher. Sunlight catches the stairway in a luring pattern as we take folded laundry to bedrooms. We find a father throwing a simple ball in the street with his son as we back out of the driveway. And aren't we thankful for the beauty we stop to find and the beauty that stops to find us? Beauty heals, restores, lightens the load. Beauty gives grace where we thought there was none, gives light in the darkness, gives hope in the desperate places. We most certainly will find beauty when we are open to the idea that when something is buried, then something beautiful can grow. God, thank you for beauty. It is your gift, your joy in creation, your fresh air for our tired lungs. Help us to see beauty, see it even when we've closed our eyes to see it. Close our eyes to it. Notice it when life is loud and spinning. Thank you for nature and human beings and art, for baseball games and little sticky fingers and hearts full of possibility. So something that I feel like everything in this actually sticks out to me. And when I read that this morning, I was like, oh my gosh. So yesterday when I heard that, I'd actually challenged myself. And it's a lot harder because you don't realize the things you didn't notice before until you're looking at it and you're like, did I know that was there before? Like there's like, I walked out and there's like, I'm in a wooded area. Okay. And so obviously there's a lot of trees, but there was a specific tree on this corner that had like bright, like pink flowers I had never noticed before. And I walk out there every single day, taking my dogs out. I sit out on my patio. I have never noticed that, just that one specific tree on that corner. And then I was walking, like I was either walking or driving or something, and there was a sign that I had never noticed was a sign there. And then there was also, I take the same exit every single day that I'm driving to somewhere, and I never noticed the number on the exit. I just knew it out of routine of where it was. I never noticed the actual number. So if someone was like, hey, what exit is it? I would have just been like, oh, it's this one. It's the third right or whatever. I never would have thought to say, oh, it's exit 10. And so it was just, it's crazy because it's like the little things. We always tell you like the little things in your life matter anyways. And then I always talk about gratitude and how specific you need to get with your gratitudes. And it just allows you to be really, really like present in the moment. And that's something I've really tried to do whenever I'm with Dallas. I don't want my phone. I've been really trying to be present and just sit here and just soak it all in. Even if he's on his phone, I'm not going to be able to have the responsibility of holding my phone. I'm going to sit here and be present and enjoy the moment. And so now anywhere that I go, so anytime I go somewhere, I do feel like I'm more present. I'm more present of the person in front of me who's checking out and getting something out of their bag and that has like blue hair or whatever. And just noticing those little details, I feel like it allows you to get that instant gratitude moment. And we all know that when you start your day off with gratitude, it just changes the feeling for the day. Instead of you waking up, just checking your phone immediately, start working, and then all of a sudden you get frustrated because someone complained to you or someone maybe sent you a message and they've asked the same question 15 million times. You know, being a leader, people ask me the same question over and over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what? I will give them the same answer. I will give them the answer over and over again until it clicks. But it just allows me to be really present and really in the moment. And then it also reminds you like just how amazing and beautiful life is and the creations that God has. It's really eye-opening. And if you've never like experienced, maybe you've never been out of town, and some of my family members have never stepped out of their state. My stepmom, she's 56 and she just went to the beach last year for the first time ever in her entire life. And I normally go to the beach every single year. And so I take that for granted very easily. I'm like, all right, when we go to the beach, instead of, I should be like, I'm so thankful we get to go to the beach. And so when you get around people who don't necessarily have the same perspective to it, it allows you to gain that feeling of like, wow, I truly am blessed. And it does not have to depend on your financial status. It does not have to depend on whether your kids have been bad or good that day, or it does not have to depend on all the things that are going wrong in your life, because I spoke about this on the team Zoom last night that we had, but you already have everything within you to be able to be grateful. You already have everything you need to have the abilities to sit there and move forward and go after the things that you want. I'm not sitting here saying that you have the ability right now in this present moment to go become a millionaire overnight. Okay, let's be realistic, but you do have the capabilities to work towards that goal. And just like anything else in your life, I think it's just really, really, I think we need to get down to the basics. And just like I've been wanting to teach my team just to get down to the basics of completing steps to success, I want us to get down to the basics of just appreciating life as it is and as it comes. And last night when I spoke on our team Zoom, I was talking about seasons and appreciating the season that you're in. Appreciate every single moment that you are in, because it always serves you for the better. It's never going to leave you in a void. It will never leave you sitting here saying, you know what, that was all that never served me. That situation never served me. It only didn't serve you if you just didn't see the perspective that God wanted you to see. And so it's just like you looking outside today, whenever you go and do tasks, I want you to be fully aware and present of the things that you have. And if you're in a bad mental headspace, I mean, I think we've all been there before. I've been there a million times. Whenever I'm in that really bad headspace, when I feel like the devil is fighting me, or whenever I feel like my mindset is just not there, which last month was a really hard month for me mentally. I don't know what it was. I don't know how to explain it. It was just not a good month for me. Okay. And through that entire time, I just taught myself to be so grateful, so present in the moment. And guess what? I got through it. And it's a lot easier when you are in those situations, when you notice the things around you and you start noticing, you're like, you know, you look around your room and you might not have a lot. Maybe you only have a couch and a few pillows and, you know, a chair. I don't know. I feel like a lot of us have a lot more than that, but maybe you're just like that. Every time I go on a mission trip to Central America, every single time it is so eye-opening, because they have literally nothing. They have like a brick, not even a brick house. They have a stone house, no furniture, literally a blanket on the stone floor, and maybe a few pots and pans. And they're the most grateful, nicest humans you will ever freaking meet. And it's not because the amount of things that they have. It is literally just the amount of gratitude that they have in their heart. And I think that that's such a good perspective to look at. And if you haven't been on a mission trip and haven't been able to have the ability to do that, then okay, but just take it from me, from someone who actually saw that, where you pass by and literally a mom with 3 kids was living in a box. And guess how grateful she was? She was so grateful. And it's so crazy because we have access to everything. So of course we can start to compare and say, well, I don't have this. I look at Morgan and I'm like, her hair, nail, and all these type of budgets are probably like thousands and thousands of dollars. And here I am only giving myself like $400 when some people are just praying to make $400. And so it's all about perspective. You know, you can't sit here and compare because your blessings are not equivalent to someone else's blessings. Your blessings are meant for you. And God is probably teaching you something in this moment. Even if you are living without in this moment, he's probably teaching you something to be grateful for the things that you have, because there's a Bible verse and it says, I know what it's like to have a lot, and I know what it's like to have no, I know what it's like to have plenty, and I know what it is like to have to be in need. And both, I'm sitting there in gratitude or something. I always butcher Bible verses. It's totally fine. It just shows y'all how human I am. But it was something like that. So I know what it's like to have a lot, and I know what it's like to not have a lot. And so in that moment, you're still going to be grateful. Okay. I'm in a season where, like, do I wish my volume was a lot more up? Yeah. Do I wish my people, if I just gave them one task, that they would just go and do it and then actually complete it? Absolutely. Do I wish all of these things? Do I wish that Dallas's clinic would open sooner? Absolutely. Do I wish all of these things? Do I wish my mom's mental health would actually get better? Yes. I wish all of these different things, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop praying. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop being hopeful and thankful for the season that I'm in. And I think a lot of you get stuck in this constant rotation of the things that are going wrong in your life, or the things or the situations or the scenarios that you can't have happen. And God's like putting you on this hamster wheel. You feel like you're on this hamster wheel of like bad scenarios happen over and over and over and over again. And I think it's because you are not seeing the perspective of what he wants you to see. I think your image is so damaged about all the bad things that are happening to you, or all the things that you can't control. And he's like trying to wake you up, trying to wake you up, trying to wake you up. And he's like, you have so much to be grateful for, but yet you are so blinded by the little things. And he's just telling you to like focus on today, focus on what you have today. And so I always start out writing my gratitudes during the day. Literally just did them, just to show y'all that I'm not making them up. Just did them, dated July 8th. Did my gratitudes. I always do that to start the morning because I want to start off grateful. And guess what? When I looked at my phone, I think a customer messaged me saying she wanted to cancel. If I would have looked at that before I did my gratitudes, I might have been a little irritated. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might have been just a little bit irritated, but guess what? I did my gratitudes, and now I'm like, God, I know you'll replace them. Or we'll figure out a scenario where she doesn't want to cancel. So either way, I'm grateful because I know that you're going to help me serve someone in something and serve myself in the season. And so many people's images and views and just like the things that you view, it's just so jacked up. And I'm so tired of seeing people go through the same routines over and over and over and over again, just hitting this brick wall. And I've been there. And so I can say from personal experience, I do understand. But at the same time, like, what are you doing to serve yourself today? Are you actually waking up earlier and not looking at your phone and doing gratitudes? Are you actually diving into the Bible? Do you actually have a devotional, and are you actually reading it? Or are you just waiting on here to get some encouragement? Because I can tell you this can go so far until you realize that this isn't a true connection to God. This is just a connection between me and you. God's connection is through here. It's Bible. It's through devotionals. It's through you praying. It's through you speaking to him. Okay? And I promise you, if you're like, I don't feel him, I don't speak to him, I don't know where to even start, just freaking start praying. That's literally all you have to do. That's how I started. Do you think my faith journey has been easy? No. Do you think like I had some amazing role model to look up to? No. I just sat there and I knew what I wanted. And obviously I had people in my life who were more along in the faith journey than I have. And you have people like that. It's just a matter of you surround yourself by people who don't believe, and people who are sucky, and people who constantly weigh you down. Those people aren't serving you, sister. You need to get a new friend group. You need to get a new group who's going to believe in you and trust you and have you like believe in God a little bit more. Okay. If you constantly believe and hang out with people who are constantly saying, this word drives me crazy, but people who are constantly saying GD, stop hanging out with them all the time. Okay. Because those people aren't serving you. If you're someone who is constantly saying that, that's not serving you. That word drives me absolutely up the wall. Don't tell me you're sitting here and you're like a huge believer and then you go say GD 50 times. That drives me up the freaking wall. I don't know where that came from, but I know people like that. And it's just like, that doesn't serve you. Okay. The people that you hang out with who are constantly negative, constantly broke, constantly complaining about their life, constantly complaining about the things that they don't have, those people do not serve you anymore. You cannot sit here and expect to level up. That's why you're constantly hitting this brick wall, because you're constantly hitting this spiritual wall of people who don't believe, people who don't know God, people who claim that they know God. And then they'll sit here and say, oh, I haven't prayed in 15 years. How do you expect to know God if you haven't even spoken to him once? You're hitting this constant faith ceiling. And that's why you're so frustrated and sitting in the same cycle over and over again. You can't expect to be served and for God to sit here and open your eyes to things if you're constantly hanging out with the negativity, if you're constantly soaking in the negativity. Focus on the good. And that's what the devotional was talking about today. Just focus on the little details that surround you. Like, I'm seriously to the point to where you're like, I literally never noticed how red this picture was on here. That's such a beautiful, bright red. It brightens up the freaking room. Or I have plants over here. I'm going to say I'm so thankful for plants. Honestly, plants like really just amaze me anyways. The fact that they can just grow and like give oxygen and like, it's just crazy anyway. So I write about my plants. I'm like, they're so beautiful. Like, they're so breathtaking. You walk in and instantly just feel fresh air because of the plants in here. I'm going to be so detailed. Be detailed. Like, stop sitting here complaining about, well, my team isn't working. Oh, I don't have someone working on here. Oh, someone just sent me a negative message. Oh my gosh, my mom just complained to me again. Oh my gosh, my roommate doesn't believe in this. Oh my gosh, like, just stop. Like, you being so negative, nobody wants to be around you. Okay, nobody wants to be around you. If you text me a million times and all you talk about is something that's going wrong, I'm going to stop being your friend and stop texting you. Okay, let's be real. Also, I'll keep praying for you, but I'm going to distance myself. So if you've noticed people distance themselves from you, it's probably because you're constantly in this cycle and you want help, but you don't actually do the action to get help. Okay, and so I don't know where that tangent came from, but I hope, pray, good Lord above, every single time before I get on here, I like pray that this speaks to someone, because every single time I get on here, I know somewhat what I'm going to talk about, but I never know in full detail what I'm going to talk about. So I just pray and hope that it just reaches someone and opens up your eyes and enlightens you today to just make a change for yourself. I'm so tired of seeing people not do a change for themselves and then them sitting in the same cycle. I'm so sick and tired of seeing my mom go through the same motions over and over and over again. But at the same time, I'm giving her tools and it's up to her. It's up to her to use them. And so that's what I'm going to say to you. I'm giving you the tools. And so at the end of the day, I'm not going to feel bad for you because you have all the tools. You have all the tools necessary. It's just time for you to go take action and use them and be present in the moment today. Be grateful for all the little details. And I promise you, you'll start seeing light after light after light come into your life. I promise you. I'm not making this up. I do this myself. I tell y'all every single day, I'm going through this myself. Light will come into your lives when you do that. So hopefully this will help.